As instrumental music became even more popular, more standardized formats to showcase it started to become popular as well. The concerto or concerto grosso is a full orchestral form. The concerto basically features one primary soloist playing with orchestral accompaniment, and the concerto grosso usually has multiple, rarely more than 3, but often 2 or 3 soloists. Now, an example where you might see this, suppose you go see an orchestra and there is a trumpet player standing in front of the orchestra. He is probably set up to be the soloist, and the accompanying background, that is the orchestra, and we call that a trumpet concerto. While if there were 3 trumpet players, that would be an example of a concerto grosso. There's no real difference in the writing, it's just how many people are being featured in the piece. Overture is generally intended to create a festive atmosphere as the opening to an opera. As time went on, it became its own independent musical genre. It's generally taken in 2 parts, the first being sort of slow, homophonic, and rather grangeois in style, and the second is more of a quick and polyphonic style. Usually the second one ends with some sort of reference to the first, often just a rhythmic quote, but something that was played in the first part gets played towards the end of the second. Now, Dance Suite, still written for orchestra. Occasionally you find a small dance suite just for keyboards, but primarily it's an orchestral form. And by its name you could kind of figure it's just basically combining a bunch of Baroque dances into one single movement, or one single work. It's just a one movement work. So that's what a dance suite is. Now, common Baroque dances, and I'll probably mispronounce a few, but the Allemande, Courante, Sarabande, Guige, and I guess that's all I can remember. A waltz should probably be hiding in there, but most of the suites that you'll hear, they vary a little bit to allow something interesting to be thrown in there, something a little unusual. But that's basically what a dance suite is. It's a chance to put multiple dances into a one-work piece. And finally we get to the sonata. A sonata is very similar to what we had in the concerto or concerto grosso, but as opposed to having a full orchestral background, it's intended to be a soloist composition and just the little background basso continuo sort of thing going on there. Now, when you have a sonata, it involves the soloist and 2 other performers to perform that generally a cello and a piano. If you have a trio sonata, it's going to involve 4 performers. You have the 2 soloists, and again, I said piano in the last one, I meant harpsichord, some sort of keyboard instrument, and a cello. So however many you see written preceding the sonata, if you saw a quartet sonata, there would be 5 people involved. There's always one more than what it's asking for. But generally you had the sonata or the trio sonata.